when I decided to retire from the Army 6 years ago, I felt that my knowledge could be useful in carrying out, in writing materials that would contribute to an overall understanding of how North Korea makes its decisions and how they carry out their policies. And so since retirement, I've just kind of continued what the Army taught me to do over those decades of the end of the 20th century, and doing it unilaterally now and doing it in support of HRNK. The deplorable human rights conditions in North Korea has a direct impact on their military. They have a million-man army that can't be composed of everybody in the country that is on the positive side of the political classification system of Sungbun. Many, if not close to half, are recruits, are those that receive a denial of human rights through their entire life because they have been classified socially and politically as enemies of the state. Therefore, they have grown up with inadequate food, poor education, poor housing, and the opportunities that they receive in the military are very, very limited. Those in the lower Sungbun classifications can't become officers, and the few that do can't go past the company grade. And even up until a few years ago, many of the individuals in North Korean military that were regarded as low Sungbun, low trust on the political scale, weren't even allowed to carry weapons because they didn't trust them. The Organization and Guidance Department of the Korean Workers' Party is the party within the party. It is the center of power, the center of regime governing administration that compels everybody in North Korea to follow supreme leaderism and to follow supreme leader guidance. Every leader is evaluated for their ability to do that, and that evaluation comes from the Organization and Guidance Department, the OGD. So it is this organization that compels the regime, the population, to carry out all the regime orders. Or NGOs, when and if they ever have an opportunity to enter North Korea and try to help the North Korean population, they must understand that the front people that they are talking to are controlled by the OGD. The problem is that the two countries have developed a different understanding of societal norms. And so when the North Koreans come to the South, they have a problem adjusting. And it's a severe problem, and the South Korean leadership is well aware of it. The closure of the Kaesong industrial complex leaves a lot of people without a job in North Korea. Tens of thousands of people are employed in that context, and so the quality of living is going to be severely decreased for those individuals. At the time, that's not President Park's responsibility. Her population is her responsibility. So the issue would be not so much as human rights, but overall quality of life is going to deteriorate, and there will be no improvement of human rights to try and make that improvement in their quality of life to happen in the Kim regime. Well, when you do a number of these interviews, you quickly learn that life in North Korea is very, very difficult, and much of it is based in sorrow. And during these interviews, it's compelling to watch the sorrow come out of their life story, how they got from what the kind of lives they led in North Korea, how they escaped, how they came to South Korea. These are very compelling. And a lot of sorrow and unhappiness that is related to malnourishment, starving to death of family members, and basic denial of human rights, and not even understanding that some of those human rights are denied. So over the years, one can see that these stories become even more and more sorrowful, or even more and more compelling to the sad, that drives one to believe that situations are just getting worse in North Korea for individuals, the populations in North Korea, and their quality of life continues to deteriorate in North Korea for those that live in the provinces, particularly those in the Northeast. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. That time would be the fall of the Kim regime. Until that time, the Kim regime continued to carry out its aggressive policies towards the United States and the Republic of Korea, and at the same time carry out the human rights denial for the North Korean population. Those go hand in hand. He's got to, in his mind, with the concept of Suryongju, or supreme leaderism, he compels the population to support him personally, in not only the survival of the regime, but in policies that are relevant to Peninsula security issues, R.O.K. U.S. relations, North Korea, U.S. relations, and North-South relations.